Hi students, welcome to 6th Biology online class. Today we are going to discuss the topic our environments. Our environments. So first of all, what is called environments? What is called environment? So environments may be defined as some total of living and non-living elements. Living and non-living elements. So, the environment may be defined as some total of living and non-living elements and the effect which influence their human lives. So, that is called as environments. So, effects and then influence of human life. So, that is called as environments. That is called as environments. So environments may be defined as some total of living and non-living elements and the effect which influence human life. Effect with the influence human life. So that is called as environments. That is called as environments. Mostly in our environments contain two main components are there. One is a living components or living elements and then non-living components or non-living elements. So living elements or living components is otherwise known as biotic components. What components? Biotic components. And then non-living components is otherwise known as abiotic components or elements. Abiotic components or abiotic elements. So, in our environment contain living and non-living elements are present. So, living and non-living components are present. So, the both of the organism. So, living and non-living organisms, they live, interact, and then constantly interact with one to another. Interact with one to another. So, that is an environment. That is an environment. For example, the living components is always known as biotic components. So biotic components such as plants, animals and then microorganisms. So that is the biotic components or living organisms or living things. And the next one, non-living things is always known as abiotic components. So the abiotic components, what are the name of abiotic components are wind, water, soil, temperature and then etc. So that is the non-living components. So in our environments, the both organisms, living and non-living organisms, live constantly interact with each other or interact with one to another. So that is the environments. And then next go to for ecosystem. So what is called ecosystem? So first of all, what is called ecosystem? A community of living and non-living organisms work together. So that is called as ecosystem. So in our surrounding contain many living and non-living things are present. So each and every living and non-living things interact with each other. So that is called as ecosystem. And then especially the community of living and non-living organisms work together. So that is called as ecosystem. Then community of living and non-living non-living organisms work together. So that is called as ecosystem. And then there are similar, mostly there are most similar than the natural ecosystem. Natural ecosystem and the natural environments. Natural environments. And then any changes in the environments. So any changes in the environment such as increase the temperature, and then or heavy rain. So due to the result, a big impact of ecosystem. Cool. So any changes in the environments. So what changes? Maybe increase the temperature. So increase the temperatures in the environments at the same time, or heavy rain. So in this two process, so increase the temperatures and heavy rains to causes a big impact upon ecosystem. So that is the ecosystem effect. Maybe in this ecosystem may be affected due to the increase the temperature or heavy rain. So next one, types of ecosystem. There are two types of ecosystem. One is a natural ecosystem and then another one is a artificial ecosystem. So next one, types of ecosystem. There are two types. One is a natural ecosystem, and then another one is a artificial ecosystem. Natural ecosystem and artificial ecosystem. So first of all, the natural ecosystem can be divided into two types. One is a terrestrial ecosystem and then aquatic ecosystem. Terrestrial ecosystem and aquatic ecosystem. At the same time, artificial ecosystem can be divided into two types. One is a terrestrial and then aquatic ecosystem. Go. So first of all, natural ecosystem. So the natural ecosystem, and then especially the ecosystem originated without human. So that is called as natural ecosystem. So the ecosystem originated without human. So that is an important word. So without human. So that is a natural ecosystem. So the natural ecosystem can be divided into two types, terrestrial ecosystem and aquatic ecosystem. So the terrestrial ecosystem means the ecosystem outside of the water. And on land. So that is called as terrestrial ecosystem. So the ecosystem form on the land. So this type of ecosystem are called terrestrial ecosystem or land ecosystem. For example, forest, mountain, and then desert, etc. So that is a terrestrial ecosystem. And then next one, aquatic ecosystem. So the ecosystem originated in water. So that is called as aquatic ecosystem. For example, originated in water. For example, sea, and then river, lakes, pond, and puddle. So puddle means kuttai, eri kulam kuttai. Do you know? So Pudil means cook type. So that is an aquatic ecosystem. And the next one, artificial ecosystem. So in this type of ecosystem, or when the ecosystems created and maintained by human. So that is an artificial ecosystem. Created and maintained by human being. Maintenance of human. So that is called artificial ecosystem. Artificial ecosystem. So the terrestrial artificial ecosystem can be divided into two types: terrestrial ecosystem and aquatic ecosystem. So the terrestrial ecosystem means the ecosystem originated outside of the water and on land. So that is the terrestrial ecosystem. Mostly in this artificial ecosystems mainly involved in human being. So some of the human being to create a garden. Go at the same time. So the terrestrial ecosystem, the ecosystem originated on land with the help of human being. So in this type of ecosystem are called a terrestrial artificial ecosystem. For example of terrestrial artificial ecosystem, paddy field, and then garden, and then etc. So that is a terrestrial ecosystem. And then next go to for aquatic artificial ecosystem. Aquatic means water. Aquatic means water. So the ecosystem originated in water bodies. In water bodies with the help of human being. So that is called as aquatic artificial ecosystem. For example, fish farming, prawn farming, and then etc. So that is an aquatic artificial ecosystem. Next one, component of ecosystem. There are two components are present in ecosystem. There are two components. So one is a biotic components. Biotic components and then non-biotic components. Biotic components and non-biotic components. So the biotic components are includes in plants, animals, and then human being. So that is on biotic components. So biotic components are includes in plants, animals, and human being. So that is on biotic components in the ecosystem. And then non-biotic components. So non-biotic components in the ecosystem can be divided into two categories. One is a physical factors, and then another one is a adiabatic factor. Adiabatic factor is always known as soil factors. So the non-biotic components can be non-biotic components are includes in wind, water, and then etc. So already told you, non-living things are abiotic components. Abiotic components are non-biotic components. So same, abiotic or non-biotic. Go on. So the non-biotic components or abiotic components can be divided into two categories. One is physical factors and then adiabatic factors or soil factors. So the physical factors includes in the non-biotic components temperature, air, and then humidity. Humidity means eerapadam, and then etc. So that is a physical factors. So the physical factors mostly found in the light, temperature, wind, and humidity. light, then etc. So that is a physical factor. At the same time, soil factor. So soil factors includes in water in soil, and then air in soil, and then organic matter in soil. So that is on soil factors or aerobic factors. So in these factors, mostly in this non-living or abiotic factors are mainly involved in the normal plant growth developments. Normal plant growth developments, as a research, mostly water in soils. So water with the help of the loosening of soils, as a result, can be absorbed. So atmospheric oxygens can be absorbed through the roots. So with the help of water. With the help of water. At the same time, in this organic matter. So it is an important fertilizers are important factors of normal plant growth development. So in this normal plant growth development, so with the help of organic matter. So during this, during the root respiration process, most of the substance can be broken down and then release the organic matter. So this organic matter absorb the root, as a result normal plant growth developments, and at the same time the increase the productivity or increase the productions at the same time to produce the best quality and quantity of food products. Next go to for food chain and food web. Food chain and food web. So first of all living organism needed for food to perform a life process. All living organism need for food to perform a life process. So some of the organisms can be prepared its own food. So when non-organisms prepared its own food. So this type of organisms are called autotrophs. So for example, plants. So plants can be prepared its own foods. So this type of organism are called autotrophs. Go on. So during the process of photosynthesis, the plants prepared its own foods, and then especially the plants contain a green color pigment is called chlorophyll. So the chlorophyll contain some green substance or present. So during the photosynthesis process, the plants can be prepared its own food using simple substance, water and carbon dioxide. In the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. So during this process called chlorophyll. So during this process called photosynthesis. So during the photosynthesis process, the plants prepared its own food. So that is on autotrophs. So some of organisms cannot prepare its own food. So this type of organisms are called heterotrophs. So this type of organisms depend on other organisms for their food. For example, human and animal. So human and animals cannot prepare its own food. So this type of organisms compulsory depend on other organisms for their nourishment or for the food process. So this type of organisms are called heterotrophs. And then based on the different type of ecosystem, based on the organism obtained food, can be divided into producers and then consumers. So based on the organism obtained their food, the ecosystem can be divided into two types. Not only two types, and then different types. Why different types? Producers and then consumers. Based on the food obtained for their environments or the ecosystem, the consumers can be divided into many types. For example, primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers, and then quaternary consumers. So that is on different type of ecosystem based on the organism obtain the food. And then first one is a producer. First one is a producer. So mostly the producers are plants. Why producers are plants? So the plants to prepare one food, and then the producer are organisms that are able to produce their own food, So that is an autotrophs. So in this type of organisms or in this type of process are called autotrophy nutrition process. So they do not eat other organisms. So the plants cannot eat other organisms. Why? So plant is a autotrophs. So இதுக்கு தேவையான ஃபுட்டை இதுவே ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணிக்குது. So that is an autotrophs. So that cannot eat other organisms or cannot depend on other organisms. And then plants are autotrophs because they are prepared own food. So that is a producers. And then next one, consumer. Next one, consumers. So in this consumer, and then for example, when an organisms depend on other organism for their food and then nourishment. So that is a consumer. So the organism which cannot produce their own food. When an organism cannot produce their own food and they are needed to eat other organisms. So these organisms are called consumers. So organisms are called consumers. So based on the consumers can be divided into many types. One is herbivores, and then carnivores, and then omnivores, and then decomposers. So based on the organisms, the needed food, the consumer can be divided into many types: herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, insectivores, frugivorous, and then saprophytic nutrition method. So the some of the different type of nutrition method are there, and then only the verb given: herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, and decomposers. So first of all, what is called herbivores? So when an organism eat plants or plant product, when an organism eat plants or plant product, when an organism eat plants and or plant products, so this type of organisms are called herbivores. For example, goat, deer, cow, and then etc. So that is on herbivorous animals. So in this type of organisms depend on other organisms for their nourishment or their food. So in this type of organisms are herbivores. So herbivores means plant eating animals. So next one, carnivores. So the carnivores eat other animals. Cool. So that is called as carnivores animals. So flesh eating animals. So flesh eating animals is always known as carnivores. So when an organisms eat other organisms or other animals, so that is called as carnivores. For example, lion, tiger, then etc. So that is a carnivores animals. So what is called omnivores? Omnivores means both eat plant and animals. So when an organism eat both plant and animal, so this type of organisms are called omnivores. So omnivores means both eating animals, both plants and animal eating organisms. For example, human being, human, dog, and crow. So that is a omnivores animals. And the next one, decomposers. So these are very important consumers. So decomposers, when an organism such as bacteria and fungi. Bacteria and fungi. When an organism, bacteria and fungi, obtain their food through the dead plants and animals. Dead plants and animals. So in this type of organisms are, in this type of process are called decomposers. So in this type of organism, bacteria and fungi are decomposers. Food chain. What is called food chain? What is called food chain? The energy transfer from one organism to another organisms. So the energy transfer from one organism to another organisms and one trophic level to another trophic level. So that is called as food chain. That is called as food chain. For example, so producer. So producer, this one autotrophs. So in this one, producers prepared its own food. Prepared its own food. So the energy produced, 100% of energy produced by producer. For example, plants. So plants is a autotrophs or plants is a producer. So the energy produced, 100% of energy produced by plants. So the energy transfer from one organism to another organism. So the herbivores eat producer or eat plants. Go on. So in this energy, the plant's energy transfer from herbivores. Transfer from herbivores. So herbivores mostly plant eating animals. For example, goat, deer, and then etc. So deer or goat. So it is a herbivores. So the energy transfer from producer to herbivores. Go. At the same time, the carnivores eat herbivores. So the energy transfer from herbivores to carnivores. Herbivores to carnivores. Carnivores eat herbivores. So the path of energy transfer from herbivores to carnivores. Energy transfer. Go. The next one, last one. The top carnivores eat carnivores. Top carnivores eat carnivores, and then the energy transfer from carnivores to top carnivores. So top carnivores, for example, eagle. So carnivores, for example, lion, tiger, then etc. Go. So that is a carnivore. So flesh eating animals. So flesh eating animals mostly this energy transfer from top carnivores. So top carnivores eat carnivores. So that is a food chain. The energy transfer from one organism to another organism and then one trophic level to another trophic level. So during this process called as food chain. Cool. And then the food chain shows the relationship between producer and consumers. So that is a producer and consumers. So herbivores, carnivores and top carnivores are consumers. So plants are producers. Plants are producers. So interrelationship or relationship between the producer and the consumers to shows a food chain. And then for example, many food chains to form of land or terrestrial ecosystem and then aquatic ecosystem. So one of the example, food chain in the terrestrial ecosystem or land ecosystem. Plants eat deer eat tiger eat eagle. Come on. So this one is a producer, and then this is all consumer. All are consumers. So there is a primary consumer, tiger secondary consumers, and then eagle tertiary consumers, and then finally decomposed. So the another one food chain in the land form, grass eat grasshopper eat frog eat snake eat eagle. So that is a food chain of terrestrial or land form. So grass is a producer, grasshopper, frog, snake and eagle are consumers. So grasshopper is a primary consumer, frog secondary consumer, snake tertiary consumer, eagle quaternary consumers. Go on the next go to for the food chain form of aquatic food chain or aquatic condition. Aquatic condition. Go on. So the food chain to form of aquatic. For example, beetles, planktons or any small microorganisms. Plankton to beetles to beetle to small fish to big fish to human, and then so another one zooplankton. So phytoplankton, this one is a phytoplankton. Phytoplankton is a very minute plant particles. Zooplankton is a very minute animal particles. So zooplankton depend on small fish. So small fish depend on large fish. Large fish depend on human being. So that is a aquatic food chain. Trophic level. The energy transfer from producer to consumer. Energy transfer from producer to consumer. So that is a different consumers. So energy transfer from producer to consumers. So that is called as trophic level. And then the another one definition, the energy transfer from one trophic level to another trophic level. One trophic level to another trophic level, or one level to another level. One level to another level. So during this process called as trophic level. So in this trophic level energy transfer between producer to consumers. And then the consumers, but there are different type of consumers. Each of the level is the food chain is also called as trophic level. It's also called as trophic level. And then first of all, the producers. Producers, this is a plants. Cool. So the producer depend on primary consumer. So the herbivores eat plants. So the energy transfer from producer to herbivores. So that is a primary consumer. So the primary consumers depend on secondary consumer. So the energy transfer from herbivores to carnivores. So the carnivores eat herbivores. Herbivores eat plants. Go on. And the next one, secondary consumers depend on tertiary consumer. So tertiary consumers, that is on top carnivores. So top carnivores eat carnivores. And then finally tertiary consumers depend on quaternary consumers. So the quaternary consumers are decomposers. So the decomposers eat top carnivores, not only top carnivores. So dead plants and animals mostly eat the decomposers. For example, the bacteria and fungi, and then obtain their energy to the dead plant and animals. So this process of energy flow or trophic level. The path of energy transfer from producer to consumers. So during this process called trophic level. Go on. And then next go to for importance of food chains. What are the importance of food chains? So first one is here, the food chain helps us to understand the feeding relationship. That is important. Feeding relationship and the interaction between the organism in any ecosystem. any ecosystem. For example, the terrestrial ecosystems, mostly the different kinds of animals are there. And then each and every animals depend on producers, for their food. So in this interrelationship between the living and non-living things, and then one organism to another organisms can be understand with the help of food chain. So the feeding relationship and then interaction between the organism in any ecosystem. So on the another one, understand the energy flow. So that is an importance. So this one is a energy flow method. Go. So the path of energy transfer from one level to another level. So that is an energy flow. So they understand energy flow and nutrient circulation in an ecosystem. So the nutrition circulate. For example, the producer to produce 100% of nutrients. In this nutrients and then enter into the primary consumers 80%, secondary consumers 60%, and then 40%. Last to 20% or energy transfer. And the last one, it can be used to understand the movement of toxic substance and then and their impact. Especially some of the toxic substance are released into some of the organisms. So this toxic substance eliminated with the help of in this trophic level or in this energy transfer level. Thank you.